What's going on, everyone in the crypto community, Bitcoin enthusiasts, Bitcoin naysayers, or maybe those of you who are a bit curious? Welcome to another edition of Adventures in Bitcoin. It's been 5 months since my last update, so I wanted to make sure I came on and gave you an update, let you know what's going on, what I've been up to. Basically, I have been focusing on family and work and all that stuff that goes with it. Bitcoin wasn't going anywhere 5 months ago, so I decided to take some time off. I did some home renovations, paid down some debt, and took care of some family members who needed some assistance. So yeah, I've kind of had my plate full, but I have been paying attention to crypto and Bitcoin. I've been wanting to do a video for a while. I redid my computer, my operating system and everything. So putting all the pieces back together in order to be able to do videos took me a while to get that all going. But I've been spending a lot of this time very productively applying some of the methods that I talked about in my personal finance series. If you guys were following me a few months ago when I was doing this series on personal finance, I did some stuff on budget, and I was actually able, by applying some of the methods I talked about in this series, I was able to find almost $2,000 in my monthly budget just by cutting back, by reducing some of the deductions in my paycheck, cutting back on non-essentials, by bundling services, and by looking at each bill every month and saying to myself, how can I reduce this? And it's paid off immensely. It's life-changing. I get it, those type of videos are not sexy. It's not the get rich quick type of stuff. It actually takes hard work. You have to look at your finances, you have to sacrifice, but believe me, it's worth it. And once you start seeing the results, it gets addicting. So with that found money, I've financed home projects, renovations, paid down some debt, and even buy Bitcoin. Yes, I started buying Bitcoin about a month ago. I started in April, and I've been doing like a lot of people are doing. I'm not the only one doing this, but you know, I've always preached dollar cost averaging, and I've been practicing that. Every week I go to the Bitcoin ATM and I deposit $100 of my hard-earned fiat cash. And the great thing about using a Bitcoin ATM is that there's no KYC, no know your customer. As long as it's under $500, it's completely anonymous. No one knows about the Bitcoin I'm buying, just me and the guy behind the counter at the bodega who doesn't even know what Bitcoin is. He kind of looks at me funny every day, like, what are you doing at that machine every week? So is Bitcoin a good investment? People were asking me this recently. You know, isn't Bitcoin that thing that everyone was crazy about last year, but then it tanked and everyone lost their money? Well, Bitcoin actually outperformed the stock market in 2019 by 10 times. This analyst talks about it in this article. So Bitcoin was up 111%. The stock market was only up 12% in 2019. That's pretty crazy when you think about it. And why did Bitcoin go up? You know, why did this happen? What caused things to turn around? And what I believe is, and I've always said this in past videos, is that the price of Bitcoin is tied to what's going on in the world economy, in fiat currencies, in major fiat currencies like the US dollar, the euro, the yen. Whenever there's uncertainty, and what uncertainty I mean is the government's ability, because the US dollars, the fiat currency, is not backed by anything, just like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is not backed by anything. What backs it is the full strength and power of the US government. Same goes for the euro and the yen. They are backed by their governments. When people start losing faith in the government's ability to maintain the value of that currency or that economic system, the wealthy look for ways to protect their investment. So therefore the purchasing power goes down, and people want to preserve that wealth. So they'll put it into things like gold, like tangible assets, like silver, like real estate. And Bitcoin, I believe, falls into that category. There's an article here talking about the flipping of gold to Bitcoin. And if that ever happens, and this particular person that made this article is saying that it's inevitable, in a digital age, Bitcoin will overtake gold as the preferred tangible asset, even though it's intangible. That would cause the price to go to $350,000. Now, if Bitcoin goes to $250,000, whether it's this year, next year, 10 years from now, are you going to have enough Bitcoin? I don't think I am. So I'm buying as much of it as I can. And like I said, I'm doing that with the Bitcoin ATM, little by little. And what I've noticed is, and I noticed this also way back in 2017, that this is sort of a pattern that Bitcoin follows. I noticed that Bitcoin tends to flatten out or form a bottom around the middle of the week, like Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then starts to rally on the weekend, starting around Friday. Sometimes it's Saturday. So I came up with the idea of just buying Bitcoin on Wednesday. So if I had to pick a day of the week to buy Bitcoin, I would buy it on Wednesday, maybe Thursday. And if you look at the chart, you'll see this when Bitcoin's comes down and it flattens. That's usually around a Wednesday or a Thursday, and when it pumps, it's usually on a Saturday. And this past, April and May, it's pretty much clockwork. It happened again. It happened again yesterday. Today's Friday, so you can see you see 3 red candles followed by a big green candle, right? A big upswing. 3 red candles and then a big upswing. 3 red candles, and now we're back on the upswing. So what I was doing, I was just buying on these dips, and when Bitcoin starts to hit a top and starts to turn around, that's the best time to take that Bitcoin you bought that now went up higher in value from when you bought it, and buy some altcoins with it. Some of the top names, like maybe Ethereum, maybe Litecoin, maybe Tron EOS, some of the other ones. Because the goal is to get more Bitcoin, and you're not going to get more Bitcoin just sitting on Bitcoin. The altcoins will actually go up in Bitcoin value, and that's kind of the idea. You want to get more Bitcoin because Bitcoin is what's going to be our new gold. So what else is going on is that, there's been a lot of changes over these past 5 months, but also a lot of things kind of stay the same. I mean, we still got people trying to scam you out of your cryptocurrency. Like we just had this Bitcoin Satoshi's vision where some scammers put some fake news out about Craig Wright having proof that he was Satoshi, which no one believes that he is Satoshi. And that caused the price of Bitcoin SV to skyrocket, mainly due to the Chinese traders. For some reason, they're very gullible to any kind of news items, whether they think it's true or not. They will buy it up. And it went up like crazy, but it didn't come down a lot. You would think after the news came out that it was, BS, you would think it would crash. It had a little bit of a crash, but it's still at 100%. So I don't know what's causing Bitcoin SV. As you know, Bitcoin SV is a fork of Bitcoin Cash, which is a fork of Bitcoin. And what's kind of great about cryptocurrency, what people don't really understand about it, is if you were holding Bitcoin during the time of the Bitcoin Cash fork, you're eligible to claim the equivalent amount of Bitcoin you were holding in Bitcoin Cash, right? Bitcoin Cash is, how much is it now? That's the wrong Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash right now is at $447. So if you had 1 Bitcoin during the fork, you would have or be eligible to claim $447 in this Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash then forked into Satoshi's vision. If you're holding 1 Bitcoin Cash, you're now eligible to claim 1 Bitcoin Satoshi's vision at a price of $192.61 today. That's free money out of thin air. You gotta love crypto. And what's cool, if you happen to be using the Exodus wallet, it claims these forked coins for you. So I logged into Exodus after a couple of months and noticed I had some Bitcoin SV sitting in there that I never bought. It just kind of, I was holding on some Bitcoin Cash and just magically I had Bitcoin SV. Pretty cool. I also have some BitTorrent token, which I didn't buy. I think that got loaded into the Exodus wallet because I was holding some Tron at the time. So that's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, so that is what I've been up to, buying Bitcoin on Wednesdays or Thursdays, depending on how I think it's going to go. And then buying altcoins on Friday, Saturday, Sunday as the Bitcoin price pumps. That's been working well for me. And I'm not the only one doing that. I hear other people are buying crypto a little bit each week, $50 here, $100 there, socking it away like a squirrel, hoping for the day that it goes up to $350,000 and then we can all buy Lambos, right? Because isn't that the goal of crypto, is to buy Lambos? I don't know. That's what they tell me. Anyway, but enough about what I'm doing. What are you doing? I want to know what you guys are doing, how you've been spending these past 5 months. Have you been buying crypto? Have you been sitting on the sidelines? Are you waiting? If you're waiting, what are you waiting for? Now's the time. So go ahead, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you've been doing, what you've been up to. I missed you guys. I missed all 3 of you. So let me know you're still out there. Or just say hello. That's fine too. So stay profitable, my friends. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now. Don't ever say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novograd say we have bottom it out, Novograd is bullish. Bottom it out, don't ever rise is bearish.
Bearish target of 13 times this.
Novograd is bullish.
Bitcoin could be at 40,000.
Let us go to moon.